Is that, that's
Well, yeah,
basically...
it's a contract. MOU is just a contract. In exchange for accepting this amount of money, you agree to use it in this way.
And so in that budget, even though that budget's set ahead of time, would that be legally making him do that, or would still be able to do with the money whatever he wants?
No, for the term of the MOU. You know, if you have it year to year, then the next year you take another look at it. But and it doesn't bind new sheriffs. I mean, that would be set out in the agreement.
But it's clear that it wasn't part of, you know, if it were or if it weren't part of his budget, but it specifically would attach to a line item, so it would withstand your case laws that say it's a total aggregate number and really it's our number, and to just do with what we wish until the end of the day when we've run out of all the money, even if we've exceeded whatever line item, would take that argument out. So if it is, he's saying to you, and I don't remember the number, but I remember that that was an issue. I told you if you give me X, whatever it was, we'll leave security just as it is. I won't have to do a thing if you give me that. So my suggestion, the easiest suggestion would be, okay, Sheriff, we'll put it, if that's what you're willing to do, then here's a memorandum of understanding that you're going to sign, that we're going to sign, that says we'll give you $49,000, and in exchange for that, you maintain security in that building exactly as it is today and line it out. Monday through Friday, whenever that courthouse is open, whenever there's court in session, whenever X, Y, and Z, it happens, and it happens for $49,000, and that's the
And even though that's his budget to spend how he wants, with that particular line, you would have control with that $49,000.
That's correct.
He couldn't wiggle that out and take it to court and sue you and everything else.
That's correct. To me, it's more cost effective, and it takes away a lot of that anxiety that we're feeling over at the Justice Center. And I appreciate what you all have been doing in trying to get us security, but I know that these are things that have come up, and since I represent you, I can fairly tell you that a lot of it is, I can't believe the Commission's going to spend more money, and I'm like, I don't know that that's true. I haven't heard any of that. I haven't even talked to Crystal, which usually would be my go-to. I've been really consumed with other stuff. I said, I don't know that that's true. Well, why would they spend more when they could have done this? I don't have any idea. I'll ask them and see if we can work something out.
Right now, the numbers we're looking at, head-to-head, the numbers are probably a wash.
From the $49,000.
Right. But we will have 2 highly trained, full-time security people that are not required to walk back into the courtroom at any point in time. They are strictly front door and building security.
Which should keep you guys safer, really, if it all won't.
And we're going to have them from well, there'll be a half hour at the beginning of the day, end of the day, there would only be one, 7:30 to 5.
What happens?
We would actually be getting more security.
But what happens when, like, our trials go late or we have late?
They stay.
And that's not, we pay overtime? And
actually, they would shift we talked about overtime with them.
And again, that's not that's your all's issue, but there are lots of times that we're there late and they keep the building open.
Yeah, we're aware of that. They have enough personnel that they try to keep them from going over 40 hours. We would pay the flat rate because they would shift the personnel. We're actually going to be getting more security than what we have now. But the whole, I keep coming back to $49,000 results in the reassignment of $181,000 worth of personnel. When that logic can be explained to me,
and I'm not trying to explain it. I'm just again,
because it cannot be.
I'm bringing it to you a couple of different ideas and thoughts.
As far as employees losing
they're not losing their job. They're being asked to do something else.
And that's not our responsibility at all. I mean, we wish we wasn't even in this position. In fact, we wish as the year progressed, we would get better. We wouldn't even be sitting here.
I'm not saying that
that's
your concern, but I'm telling you those are the concerns that have been brought to me, and I feel that I have a duty to bring to you. And if you want to do anything about it other than what it is you're doing, then I'm happy to help facilitate. And if not, then that's just the way that the chips fall. But, you know, like I said, I just know that there's anxiety among that group that has been there and has been providing security up until this point. And some of which, at least one is close to retirement, and that's,
Right.
it certainly has been a cause for concern, so.
Well, hopefully he'll draw the straw where he gets to go over and answer the walk-in calls. Because one person is going to get that.
Correct. So, we'll see.
Now, we've survived how many years without someone at that front door or in the lobby to answer those walk-in calls?
Correct.
It's now a priority, and that's Mike's decision.
Well, how about if we took one of him and he became an employee of the judges or employee of ours and not a deputy anymore? How about that? What'd be the difference?
Well,
If we take people, see, right now we have 5 people doing the job. When it's all said and done, we're going to have 7 people doing the job. Because the 5, well, we'll have 6 because one's getting reassigned totally. We're actually going to gain a person out of this deal.
which is what the sheriff says he would also be able to do if you gave him the increase. Which again.
He would be able to add the person
Correct.
that that's going to get, one of the 5 that are there now is going to get picked up and put over in the lobby to answer walk-in calls
Of the sheriff's department.
at the sheriff's department.
And phone calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which are, I mean, there are extensive, normally we just have people come in, or the lieutenants, or, I mean, they come in off the
And
road.
to take the situation away, a lot of the counties that you've talked to, the security at the metal detectors and all that becomes the judges or becomes the,
Right.
going back to judges,
They operate
their
under the supervision of
budget.
the
They're not
judges,
even
right.
part of the sheriff
Right.
anymore to keep this from happening.
Right.
This can't be a new situation
Well,
for everybody.
the
This
other-
had to happen before.
The other issue is, and we looked because some counties allow the prosecutor to commission officers. So we looked into that, but we aren't, because we're not a charter county, I can't commission.
Right.
So that was a thought certainly that we explored initially, that, okay, we'll just regroup and we'll try to do it this way. But those are just some thoughts that I wanted to bring to your attention. Also, George has done some extensive research, and we have gone back and forth and have spent countless hours of time on whether or not this fine gentleman can carry a weapon within the confines of this building. And we have found that, you go ahead, because I'm tired of reading it. No matter what John Hunt likes to say, that's why I wish that he were here, he's absolutely able to carry a weapon in this building.
Is it the retired law enforcement officer with 15
No.
years of
No.
service, or what's the?
CCW, under the concealed carry.
Well, he doesn't have a CCW.
No, I know.
Right.
But if any person with a CCW, as long as they have your permission, can carry in the courthouse. If you look, I've marked subsection 8 on the first page. That's prohibition about carrying a firearm in any federal, state, or political subdivision building. But if you look on the second page under paragraph 4, it will state anyone with a concealed carry permit, subsection 8 no longer applies to them. So they're free to carry a weapon whether it's concealed or not.
Now, we also defer to the fact that you all have the ability to hire security within the buildings which you maintain anyway. So that was obviously the first argument. The second argument was this one. The third argument is that the person has to actually have standing to bring a concern that, meaning it would be you. If you had a concern that someone was carrying a weapon in the building, you would be one that would have standing, or any other elected official, I suppose.
Correct, because their commission is in charge of all county buildings. What happens in them, repairs, who does what inside them. And so under the 571.030, a person is allowed to carry in a government building unless they are told by the supervising body that they can't. It's like under the concealed carry permit law, you can carry a weapon inside any restaurant or something like that. But if the owner tells you you can't, then you're no longer allowed to. Okay. So it's carte blanche, subject to the person in responsibility being able to tell the carrier, you can't carry in here. I know the law says that you can't carry in here.
So we're saying everybody can't carry in there.
Right, unless you
Except-
have
You're violent.
security guard.
Unless you're a security guard.
Security man.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
So
Or the
I
prosecutor.
have a CCW guy, and I can.
Or the
Or the clerk.
Or the clerk.
Right, you guys
Or the auditor.
granted permission.
Well, we can both carry.
So
We
that's a
both
good way.
have
So that's a good way. So
CCWs
that's a good
too.
way to go about it.
But the
Carry,
statute
I got
allows us
mine.
to carry and prosecute and assistant
Carry, I got
prosecute.
Right, I don't have to have a CCW, but.
Right, but we do.
Wilcoxon used to carry it.
If I had a CCW, could this body give me permission to carry it?
If you had a CCW, you don't need permission to carry it. The only thing the commission could do is take that permission away. The legislature has said you can carry in a courthouse unless and until the governing body tells you you can't.
The other thing that.
So what about the sign out on the side of the building?
That's notice to the public that they can't carry, but you're permitted to, you know, if you want to give permission to specific individuals, they can.
Well, that's a good way to go about it.
The other thing, the other issue that he raised was that federal,
Leosha.
yeah.
Yeah, and that only applies if an officer wants to carry concealed in some other jurisdiction. What the theory behind it was is after 9/11, we wanted to have commissioned officers to be able to carry concealed, whether they're, if they're from Missouri, allow them to conceal in Arizona as well. But that has nothing to do with carrying out in the open, and it has nothing to do with an officer unless he leaves Missouri. So
And in
it
this
doesn't
case,
really apply.
right, and he's not carrying concealed anyway, plus
Right.
he's in this building, plus the city of Troy, you can carry open
It's an open carry in the city.
anywhere in the city of Troy, so it's not, I mean, you can walk down the street packing it out open and notoriously. It would be interesting if everyone did that, but you can't do that.
So, I found it
Can you
very
imagine,
heavy.
just like, yeah.
So what if
I like it better with like a rifle.
What if I brought in an old shotgun and just leaned it in the corner there next to the flag? Would that be a problem?
Not for me. And and not to be facetious, but under the law, the town allows you to carry open. As far as the legislature is concerned, this is dealing with concealed carry. Of course, now you're in the office here, so you would need a concealed carry permit before you could have a firearm theoretically. So what I'm saying is, if you brought a shotgun in and you had a CCW, you'd be good to go until your companions here told you to get rid of it.
The other,
Day 86 for me.
the other thing, just so that you're aware, I know that he's filed a complaint.
Special
And-
prosecutor type of thing.
I'm sorry.
Special prosecutor.
Well, he filed a complaint, and the sheriff took it and called me about it, and I said, tell him to pound sand, and he did. And I was hoping again that he was here today, because I was going to say that again. However, if he really, I've talked to 2 different prosecutors that take my special cases, and Jack out of St. Charles has agreed that, I mean, I can send it to him if that's what needs to happen in the correct protocol, but he will respectfully decline in the same language of pound sand. I think "you idiot" was followed up on his dialogue with him. So nobody seems to think that there is an issue except for Mr. Hunt. And so, just so you all are aware, and so Bob's aware, we think he's good to go as far as that's concerned. So, lastly,